Hi lovelies! As the days are getting shorter and the weather is cooling down, I find myself craving warm, cozy comfort food. And that's why this roast chicken and potato dish simply cannot be beat. This delicious dish is full of classic flavors that your whole family will love. This is, in my opinion, totally holiday worthy, but is shockingly easy to prepare. So it's perfect for Sunday dinner, and you can even make it on a weeknight if you've got a little extra time. Now, today we're gonna be using some chicken thighs. These are bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, which in my opinion are actually the most flavorful cut from a chicken, but they're also one of the most affordable cuts, which is amazing because let's be honest, if you're anything like me, maybe your grocery bill has skyrocketed in the last little while. I found these on sale at my supermarket, and these are perfect for the recipe I'm gonna show you today. Now, I'm just gonna get started by seasoning up my chicken thighs liberally with some salt and some pepper. So I've got my oven preheating to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to be starting our chicken on the stove and then transferring it to the oven to finish cooking. So I've got some oil in my skillet here, and just as soon as that oil is nice and hot, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer my chicken thighs to my pan, skin side down. I want that skin to get nice and golden in color and a little crispy before we add the rest of our ingredients. I'm gonna let my chicken thighs cook over medium heat for about 5 to 6 minutes until they're nice and golden on one side and start to release easily from the pan. All right, so I've been patient and I think I've got these really beautifully browned. So we're just gonna go ahead and flip these over. We're gonna let them brown up on the underside for another couple of minutes. But the goal isn't to cook our chicken completely, it's mostly just to get that beautiful browning on the skin that everyone loves so much. At this point, I'm gonna remove my chicken to a clean plate and set it aside while I continue cooking up the rest of my ingredients. So in the very same skillet that my chicken was cooked in, I'm gonna go ahead and add some butter. And that butter is going to mix with that amazing chicken fat and get so good. And then I wanna start building flavor into this dish. And I'm gonna do that with some shallot. So I've got 3 shallots that I'm using in this recipe. You can use a lot of shallot because you want a ton of that great oniony flavor. And I'm also going to add a couple cloves of minced garlic here. You can never go wrong with garlic, am I right? I'm gonna let those cook, stirring them constantly for between 1 to 2 minutes, just until that shallot has a chance to soften up a little bit. And then it's time to add some white wine to this. The wine here imparts a ton of great flavor. It just makes this so rich. But if you do not want to cook with wine or you don't have any wine on hand, it's fine. You could just use a little extra chicken broth and that would be fine. I'm going to let this simmer away for about 3 or 4 minutes. I just want to let that alcohol burn off, and what's left is this beautiful concentrated white wine flavor. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some flour to my pan. And this is gonna help make a really nice, thick, rich, creamy sauce. I just wanna let that flour cook for 30 seconds or so, stirring it constantly so that it loses its sort of floury taste. And then it's time to add my potatoes to the pan. This is such an amazing recipe because these potatoes are going to cook in the oven in all of this delicious flavor, so you know they're gonna be extra amazing. Next, I'm gonna pour my chicken broth over top. So I've got 2 cups of chicken broth headed in here. And you'll notice almost immediately when you add your chicken broth that it starts to thicken up to create almost a gravy, which is, of course, a really great sign because that is the yummy mixture we are going to be cooking our potatoes in. Yes, you heard me right. We're gonna cook our potatoes in the gravy. How delicious does that sound? And finally, just to add even more amazing flavor to this, I am going to be adding some fresh sprigs of thyme and a bay leaf. I actually would usually add a little rosemary to this as well, but I didn't have any, so bay leaf and thyme it is. And then we wanna give this a chance to just come to a nice simmer. Once you start to see the bubbles just breaking the surface, you know it's time to add your chicken back into the pan. We're gonna nestle our chicken right on top of these potatoes like so. And then we are going to get this tastiness right into the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 to 45 minutes, or until that chicken reaches a safe internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit on a meat thermometer. Guys, when this comes out of the oven, you are going to be so happy. Oh my goodness gracious, friends, we have reached the promised land and it is delicious. You can see how beautifully golden that chicken is. Everything is perfectly cooked. Those potatoes are so tender, and now they're just drowning in this amazing gravy. And of course, the whole house is going to smell amazing. Now, this yumminess can be enjoyed right away, straight out of the oven. There is so much to adore about this recipe. It's hearty, it's comforting, and it is perfect for fall. I hope you love it as much as I do and that you will give it a try for yourselves. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo, because you know how much I love seeing your kitchen creations. Remember, this recipe, like all of my recipes, can be found on healthymealplans.com, our amazing meal planning site that allows you to browse more than 1,000 recipes, drag and drop them into your weekly meal plan, and then it automatically generates your grocery list for the week. How great is that? Thank you as always so much for watching. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.